Hey guys, Gary Dean, GMFD Audio. Finally got my base car, the 98 Civic DX Coupe, into the garage. And I'm going to start, I've already started a little bit. I pulled that panel out. I got the Foxy box that I started out. And I vacuumed out the trunk area. And then I wiped everything in there down with 70% isopropyl alcohol. All the panels back here and everything. I mean, literally, I'm probably not going to put any more sound deadener on this area or this area because it's pretty good. I will put a couple sheets in here and all the way around and then all along the sides. And I haven't decided. I don't know if I'm going to fill that void with foam or what. I know that is what I'd like to do up there to both sides. But I'm going to mess around for a second and then we'll go from there, I guess. So I'm just going to go around the factory sound deadener, that, and then these two pieces. So I'm going to put it everywhere else on the ground. And then I'm going to put a couple of layers all the way around and probably 2 to 3 layers on the trunk lid. So I am using Hush Mat. I have the rest of this box, which I have several sheets in, and then I've got a brand new box up there. So plenty of sound deadener. So I'm going to go ahead and get rolling and literally just start putting some of this stuff in, and I'll bring you back shortly as we get rolling. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, nothing fancy and definitely barely got started, but this is where we're at. I'm not going to put any mat over this. This is the factory sound deadener, and it looks to be just a little thicker than the Hush Mat that I'm using. So I've got most of that done, and then I'm going to get up in those areas there, and then I'm going to work on the sides. But I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of progress, and this is it. Nothing fancy. I ordered the Hush Mat. Well, half of this box that I'm finishing up, I got a long time ago. As some of you guys know, because I've mentioned it already, I own a detailing product line called, well, at detailjuice.com, and a customer I had probably 6 or 7 years ago, I did some work for him, and he hooked me up with a one of the Hush Mat reps. So I was able to get a bunch of stuff at a good deal for doing some work for his car, and I got this Hush Mat box, this case that I'm using now. I got it for my El Camino, which I used a ton of it in there, and then I had about 12 sheets left over, and then I bought a completely new case. So I'm going to try to burn up what we've got here in the trunk. I don't think I'm going to have enough. I'm probably going to have to get the other box out, but it doesn't bother me. I think I'm going to have enough. I'm not going absolutely bonkers with it, but I want about 3 layers on the trunk lid, and I want about 2 layers on all the sides, and then I want 1 layer on the bottom. Just seems like that's the right way to do it to me. So, with this said, that is Hush Mat. That is 1, 2, 3 sheets, and then I cut some pieces to go on the sides there, and then smaller pieces to cover up just a couple of holes. And then of that 4th sheet, I have that piece and then the other half. So, all right, back to work. All right, so I got a lot farther than the last segment. However, this is definitely time consuming. So I've got 1 layer everywhere back there as far as I could get, in here, all the way up in the corner, all the way around here, and then all up in there. Then I put a full sheet here, just right on top of the other stuff, and another full sheet here. This is all a single layer. That's a single layer. And then I'm not going to go over the factory sound deadening material because, well, it's thicker than what I'm using, so I'm sure it's doing a decent job. And I'm guessing that Honda did some testing or whatever to find that putting the sound deadening material in these places was going to improve the interior volume of the road noise. So I got all that done. I got all that done. All this in the back. I got the floor done. I still need to trim it all out up there. And lots more in front. I also still have to do the bottom side of the rear deck. I will be doing the bottom side and the top side just with one layer. And now I have started doing underneath the trunk lid. So I'm going to be doing 2 layers here. And basically you see 1 layer. I got to put another sheet there. And then probably 2 more sheets on the back side, and then I will put a whole nother layer on. So yeah, getting it done. I'm not sure I'm going to have enough for the whole car. I do not want to spend more money on this, but I may end up having to get another case at some point. So we shall see. I'm going to do what I can, but the plan is the plan. All right, I'm going to get back to work. All right, guys. It's about time to call it a night. So, let me just walk over and grab you a light. A little deal here. So you can see what's happening. So, for the first run of what's happening, maybe you saw that wire they ran from basically up there all the way around this way, like fucking idiots. Sorry. It is what it is. I hate it when people do stupid, lousy wire running and or other whatever jobs. So I had to just cut this and re-splice it. No big deal. I used one of my marine couplers. So I basically just crimped it down, and then it's basically heat shrink on the ends. So it's all sealed up, but I run it all back there. So it comes, you may or may not be able to see it down there, right there. And it comes in through there and then back here where it's completely out of the way, which is how it should have been from the beginning. Anyway, so I got all back in there done. I did 1 layer all in here and all around here. This is literally just sitting on there just to make sure it fit, and I open up the holes again. So 1 layer all the way in here around, and then I put 1 whole sheet, a second sheet just on the top there. I did the same all the way around there, and then I put another sheet on there. All of this is 1 layer, all of that is 1 layer. I'm not going to go over the factory sound deadener because I feel like they knew what they were doing, and that's actually thicker than this, so that should be fine. I'm also not going to do the shock towers or any of that. There's a little there, there's a little there. I am going to just button up that area right there. And then I'm going to do probably 1 layer on the bottom of this rear deck, and then I'll do 1 layer on the top. I also have those cups I was telling you about for the 6x9s. So this is the cups for the 6x9s. Just a little bit about what's happening right now. I got, man, all kinds of cool stuff going in this car. I got, literally, I paid $1,200 for the car. Then I spent another $600 having some of the maintenance done, the timing belt, water pump, tensioner, all that stuff. And then I had the remote start, alarm, keyless entry, door actuators, all that stuff installed. I did a little bit more maintenance stuff, but the bottom line is the stereo definitely is more expensive than the car. So in the back panels back there, some random idiot cut out some 5 1/4 holes for some speakers. It was up there in those areas. That cut out And that one right there is where the magnets go into with the panels. And instead of buying new panels, I just went ahead and bought, I priced the panels out, and then I priced out buying some 5 1/4 Scar Audio. I don't remember what they are, but oh, right here, the SK 525s. That's what's going in there. But these are it's boom mat speaker baffles. That's going to go in the front there, and then I got these for the 6x9s that are going to go right here in the back. And I just feel like this sitting in that hole is going to keep the big wind from the 18 in the trunk from affecting, I guess, the way that the speaker works. So these are going to go in, and then I'll have a layer top and bottom of the rear deck, and we should be good to go. So tomorrow I'm going to come out here and finish up the rear deck, and then I'm going to try to get both sides done. I am definitely thinking I'm going to fill the side voids with foam. I potentially will do it to those areas as well, but I want to see how much sound deadener it's going to take to get the rear deck done, the rest of this here, and then those 2 panels. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and put all the interior back in. Well, I'll have to run the wires, then I'll put all the interior back in, and then I'm hoping I have enough sound deadening material to do all of this back area so that I can run the wires and then get everything put back together. And then I'll order more just for the front doors, because that is what needs to happen after the back is done. So, but beyond that, before I put the interior in, we are also going to have to do a video on putting in the new suspension, because this back end is going to sag a lot. So I have coilovers that I'm going to put in here, not to drop it per se, but really to lift it back up to where it needs to be. So you got about 3.5 inches of gap there. I do have brand new wheels and tires for this thing. And I'm going to paint the car. I'm going to do like a Nardo gray color. The wheels are black. So it's going to be nice when it's done. The only problem with this car, and we'll deal with this in a separate video, is that it has some hail damage. So literally there are dents all over this thing. And unfortunately, my paintless dent repair guy, my friend, is very busy, and he hasn't had any time to come help me out. So you'll also notice that there are lots of nasty dings on the trunk lid, just everywhere. But I love these cars, so I'm gonna go ahead and put a little effort into it and see where we end up. I'm not gonna put a ton of money in this car. I mean, here's the thing. You put in all the audio can come out when you sell the car. I'm not worried about any of that. Yes, we're putting in about $500 worth of sound deadening material. Oh, this is the other thing I did. There's 3 layers right there. On the whole underside of the trunk lid, there's 3 layers. I tried to make that look semi-pretty because there's no real way to cover it up. There's no factory trim piece or whatever that gets rid of that. So that's 3 layers there, and then basically two layers on each side, 1 layer on the bottom, and then I'm going to try to get a couple layers on each side and then fill all of the voids with foam. That's the plan. So this is just the end of day 1. As you'll notice, I keep all my scraps. This is still good material. You can use it to fill in random areas that pop through or that have gaps. If you'll notice, none of my stuff has gaps because I use all of those extra trim pieces. Everything I cut off to discard, that's all good stuff. Never throw that away. So let's count real quick. I plan on doing 2 layers on the bottom, 2 layers on the top. So I need 2 4 pieces. I'm gonna need probably 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces probably 9. That's all deadened under there. So I need, let's say, 10 pieces to finish the back area, and then I'm going to need 3 to 4 pieces for each front door. So let's see how many we're left with. So this was a brand new case, and then I had 12 pieces in a partial case from a job I did a while back. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so let's just say I'm gonna have enough to finish everything back here, but I won't probably have enough for the front doors, so I'll order some more. I need at least 8 more sheets of this hush mat, but we'll see. So this is the end of the first day of operations. I put in these LED lights in my garage today, and it's super bright in here. I am thrilled at how much light I have now. I can actually do work in here at night. So anyway, I'm gonna quit for the day, and I'll bring you back tomorrow when we get this thing finished up.